except
the past
for
year.
Ted Cruz. So John Boehner has resurfaced
Yes.
in the last couple of days.
Yes.
How's he doing?
Well, Tim Alberta had a great, very long read over at Politico magazine about what Boehner is up to these days. I would definitely recommend reading that if you have time. I think it's a solid 12,000 words, so that's when you want to, pull up in a comfy chair, get your coffee, get your tea, and really dive into it. But just really an excellent look at, not only Boehner's life post-Congress, but kind of using that to tell the story of how the Republican Party has evolved since Boehner first came to Washington. When Boehner, first came, I guess it was in 1989. I think when he first ran election, he was sort of the Freedom Caucus before there was a Freedom Caucus. He was kind of had that a drain the swamp type message. He was the conservative insurgents at the time, and of course, by the time he left, he was quite the opposite. So it just goes to show, how the Republican Party has really shifted in that time, and also, how, that era in the 90s. When the Republicans took control of the House and you had sort of that conservative takeover, how that really sort of paved the way, eventually for the Tea Party, and then, of course, kind of laying the foundation for President Trump as well.
Boehner was also one maybe before he became Speaker, because then he was really beholden to the Tea Party, as we saw. There were only on, I think, one or two occasions was he willing to break with the Tea Party and let the Democrats vote on anything. But before that, he always had the reputation of a guy you could make a deal with.
Mm-hmm.
We had him on Crossfire a lot, because Boehner was that kind of a Republican.
Yes.
Working with Democrats on various issues. He was always a conservative, always a Republican, clear. But a guy who was there to get things done.
Right.
Which is not true of the leadership today.
Right. And that's what caught him so much flack, I think, with that Freedom Caucus, that Tea Party wing of the party. Any time that he would try and cut a deal, they'd initially label him as a moderate.
Remember he made the grand bargain deal with Obama.
Yeah.
And then
how'd that work out?
The guy from Virginia,
Cantor.
Eric Cantor. Yeah. I said, "Oh no, you're not." Right. And Boehner had to call Obama and say, "It's off."
He was
deliver.
always in a very tough spot, obviously, between those two factions of the party, and I don't think a lot has changed.
To that point, I was thinking that when you talked about Mitt Romney, there was a time when Mitt Romney was considered. Well, look, he was the nominee of the party.
Mm-hmm.
If he were to go to the United States Senate, he would be an outlier, given the present makeup of the Senate. In terms of, you think of Mitt Romney still as somebody who would part of the establishment. Want to get things done, want to work with the other side. That's what Bannon and company are looking for today.
Right. Well, yeah, that's why 2018
nor Donald Trump.
Yeah, even though in 2018 there's only so many Republicans up for re-election. I mean, 2018 is going to be a critical year in terms of determining what's going to be the direction of what kind of the Senate Republican caucus looks like. You're losing Bob Corker, major deal maker, well respected on both sides of the aisle. Jeff Flake, a unique senator. You're already losing those two,
right?
And who is going to kind of step up and replace them? Who's going to run for their seats? The leading Republican candidates, at least, are already much more on kind of the Bannon wing of things. So, the makeup of what Senate Republicans look like in 2019 could end up looking a lot different than what it does now. So I think, Republicans would love to get someone like Mitt Romney in there, if Hatch would decide to retire, to maybe counteract any movement to the right from other states.
So what do we, that's, I think a week from